So I got a bunch of new stuff, camera gear wise. I got a Ulanzi Lino cage for the smartphones for my iPhone and for my Google Pixel. I got the Rode Wireless Me, and I got the Ulanzi VE28, I believe it is, the little battery operated light which I'm using right now to light this side of my face. I'm gonna go out and try this stuff out. It's a little bit windy out today. Hopefully see how the dead cats work, and we'll go from there. Let's get after it. So here's a rundown of some of the new gear I got. There's the Rode Wireless Me setup that I got. That's the transmitter, and of course the receivers on the cage. That's my new Ulanzi Nino cage, which I'm fairly impressed with so far. It seems pretty rugged, all aluminum. DJI Osmo 5 or 6, I can't remember which is the phone gimbal. And I've got that clamp phone mount, and then I've got another suction cup phone mount out in the car. So these are the things I've got to work with. So here's what I've got. Got one phone on the suction mount there, looking at me. I've got this phone to catch B-roll while driving. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've got the Rode Wireless Me mic clipped to my lapel, and the transmitters on this phone. We're gonna give this a shot and see how it goes. It would be nice if it was a nicer day. Tomorrow's supposed to be nicer, so we may try this again tomorrow. I don't know. The place I'm going to go is a place we all used to hang out at when we were back in high school, back in the day as it was. And it was a big party spot on Friday nights generally. And it is part of the reason I did want to go out today. There is a fair bit of wind. I don't know exactly how high it is, but I know the trees are moving quite a bit. So hopefully we'll see how good the dead cats work on these. I think they work all right, like as long as you're not standing in a ridiculous amount of wind. They can only do so much, I guess, but we're gonna try and see. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and take a couple of shots. I'll take a couple of shots at the sign, of the sign at the entrance, because a lot of local people will know it. And then I'm gonna go up into the upper parking lot. You can't drive right down to where I wanna go anymore. They've got it gated off. But it's not that far of a walk, so even a fat old guy like me can make it most days. The other thing is I really can't see the framing when I set that phone up, the way I've got it set up, so hopefully it's half decent. Hopefully it's not too crooked and I'm actually in the frame. Obviously, if you haven't figured out, I live up north and it is fall, hence all the colors. Trees are starting to turn, boats are getting pulled out of the water for the season, although over there at the yacht club there isn't very many that are out from the looks of it. I'm gonna go exploring in here one day too. There used to be a house in here where this for sale sign is, and it was owned by a prominent family for decades, and then the house fell into disrepair, and of course they had it tore down, whatever, but I've never stepped foot on that piece of land, and it's 3.5 sides of it are on water, so I'd like to go do a little bit of digging there just to see. And after After this big long drive, we are here. And I won't be getting anywhere near the sign because it is all overgrown. I haven't been in here in years. Local people will recognize this area and this road, but actually the last time I was down here was the last time we had a big spring flood. A bunch of us were out tooling around and just checking to see where the water had come over the road, see how many different spots flooded. Of course, the police and the emergency measures organization were telling everybody not to do that. We did the exact opposite of that and went out and explored. The name of this place is Tucker Park, and there's a beach down here. And the reason it was such a popular spot back in high school was because back in high school, this was a party spot on Friday night. I could literally, in high school, walk into my high school at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning and grab 2 or 3 people and say, hey, did you hear about the big party at Tucker? And guess what? There'd be 300 kids here that night partying. So, it is what it is. We're gonna try and get some pictures of our old party spot, I guess is the best way to put it. These are the gates I was telling you about that weren't here back when I was in high school. I think if I remember right, somebody came tearing down here one day and almost hit a bunch of people years and years ago, and I think that's why they put the gates up. Makes sense, because you used to be able to drive right down to the beach. So anyway, we're gonna take a walk down now. Now, the wind is blowing right straight in here, so I hope the dead cat's doing its thing. It's actually, looks like grass, but it's actually overgrown a fair bit. And this is a fact of life in New Brunswick now. Cyanobacteria. We've had a few beaches closed over the past couple of years because of it. Not really a whole lot of fun, I guess, but I'm not sure there's any way to get rid of it. Just to the right, the picnic table is where the lifeguard's chair used to be. And directly behind me, there was a trailer set up there every year for them to use. And I don't think there's been a lifeguard here for, I think they pulled them back when I was in high school, 25 plus years ago now. And I don't think there's been one here since, which is really kind of a shame because it is a nice little spot. This is a beach where a lot of us used to party. Right at the end of that picnic table. Well, you can see it, I think there's a little maple. Yeah, there is, right where the fire pit used to be. There's a little maple tree planted there. That's where the fire pit was that we weren't allowed to have, or supposed to have. This is all, the picnic tables and stuff weren't here back then. This is all new stuff now. A lot's changed. I forgot to hit record, but this is a little trail. That way it takes you down to look out onto the beach. And over here brings you up here. And then now there's a new trail that goes down to the rocks. This was all open. Those trees were just tiny. It's all overgrown, or not overgrown, grown up, I should say. I don't know how much longer this is going to last. Battery's almost dead on the phone. I thought it was good and charged. I just want to sneak up here, see how much has changed here. The screen's automatically dimmed on me, so I don't know how well it's going to show up. How well I'm doing, I should say, I guess. I can't even really see this, hardly see the screen at all. But this was another area. Little road in here. If you follow this around, there was a trail, or like a footpath that used to party up here too, but there was a footpath that went to that property that's got the for sale sign on it through the woods, which was, like I said, a prominent family's property. They weren't fond of drunk kids running through their yard, put it that way. Hoping I'm in shot. This is a deck that was most definitely not here when I was a kid. And kind of would have been nice if it was. Anyway, this is oh wow, this is a wicked spot. We used to camp on those islands. That long one on the far side, like far end, far side. A nice beach there. We used to camp there. Me, Dave, Pat, Nicky. The odd time Joey or Steve Totten to come over. Good times. That way over there is the yacht club. And then if we pan back this way, that right there is the ferry I used to work on as a relief engineer. Big trip. A mile across each way. Good times. All right, I think that's about it. A lot of changes, but they haven't been drastic changes, I guess. I saw this deck from the water. I kind of forgot it was here. And it's nice to actually get out on it. It's a nice little deck to go do stuff. You can come down here and film the Wednesday night races next summer. And this, I got a feeling, it's probably like, no, it ends right there. Okay, I'll bring it over here. There was another little, very private little beach. It wasn't really a good beach, but more of a spot for people that wanted to go sunbathe. Because it was well off the beaten path, but we used to party in here too. If it was too crowded over there, a bunch of us would come over here and start another fire. We'd start drinking. And right about here, Nikki, if you ever get the chance to see this video, or no, yeah, sorry, zoom. Look at bad camera moves. I think it was right about here, right on this little pull-off spot. Barbiturates, man. Yeah, that was an interesting night. Guys we didn't know that were strung out appeared, jumped on my buddy's hood. Yeah, it was interesting. I'll leave it at that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm gonna film a little more B-roll on the way out and call this one done. Like I said, this is more of a trial for me, trying out new gear, seeing how it all works, and we'll see when we get back. Oh my God, they have a bike rack over behind. I don't know if you can see it over behind the picnic table. Anyway, yeah, it was just more for me to try out my new gear and play around with some stuff. And there's a dog. I don't know whether it caught on camera or not, but somebody was walking into here with a dog and they ran down on the beach and scared the God-loving bejesus out of me. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.